What is good, YouTube? It's your boy Flames back at it again with another Bible reading video. And today we're about to be reading um out of First Kings chapter 15 and 16. I'm reading them both today in this video, and I'm about to actually go grab my charger real quick. But it's really only because I'm about to go work out. And I'm kind of on a time crunch. I work pretty late usually. Get my charger to reach. I work pretty late usually, so I'll be getting home and I'll be wanting to work out and stuff. And I gotta make these videos before 12. Daily uploads every day. Um, but yeah. Without further ado, man, let's get right to it. Chapter 15. Abijam reigns in Judah. Now, in the 18th year of King Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, Abijam began to reign over Judah. He reigned for 3 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Maacah, the daughter of Absalom, and he walked in all the sins that his father did before him, and his heart was not wholly true to the Lord his God, as the heart of David his father. Nevertheless, for David's sake, the Lord his God gave him a lamp in Jerusalem, setting up his son after him, and establishing Jerusalem. Because David did what was right in the eyes of the Lord, and did not turn aside from anything that he commanded him in all the days of his life, except the matter of Ur the Hittite. Now there was war between Rehoboam and Jeroboam all the days of his life. The rest of the acts of Abijam and all that he did are not written in the book. Are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the Kings of Judah? I look-y want to read this book that he preferred to. And there was war between Abijam and Jeroboam, and Abijam slept with his fathers. They buried him in the city of David, and Asa his son reigned in his place. Asa reigns in Judah. Asa began to reign over Judah, and he reigned 41 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Maacah, the daughter of Absalom. Asa did what was right in the eyes of the Lord, as David his father had done. He put away the male court prostitutes out of the land, and removed all the idols that his fathers had made. He also removed Maacah his mother from being queen mother, because she had made an abominable image for Asherah. And Asa cut down her image and burned it at the brook Kidron. But the high places were not taken away. Nevertheless, the heart of Asa was wholly true to the Lord all his days. And he brought into the house of the Lord the sacred gifts of his father, and owned sacred gifts, silver and gold, and vessels. And there was war between Asa and Baasha the king of Israel all their days. Baasha king of Israel went up against Judah and built Ramah, that he might permit no one to go out or to come in to Asa king of Judah. Then Asa took all the silver and the gold that were left in the treasures of the house of the Lord and the treasures of the king's house, and gave them into the hands of his servants. And King Asa sent them to Ben-Hadad, the son of Tabrimon, the son of Hizon, king of Syria, who lived in Damascus, saying, Let there be a covenant between me and you, as there was between my father and your father. Behold, I am sending you a present of silver and gold. Go, break your covenant with Baasha king of Israel, that he may withdraw from me. And Ben-Hadad listened to King Asa, and sent the commanders of his armies against the cities of Israel, and conquered Ajan, Dan, Abath, Belmaachah, and all Chinneroth, with all the land of Naphtali. And when Baasha heard of it, he stopped building Ramah, and he lived in Tirzah. And King Asa made a proclamation to all Judah. None was exempt, and they carried away the stones of Ramah and its timber, which Baasha had been building. And with them King Asa built a Gemah of Benjamin and Mizpah. Now all the rest of the acts of Asa, all his might, and all that he did in the cities he built, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the Kings of Judah? But his old age he was diseased in his feet. And Asa slept with his fathers, and was buried with his fathers in the city of David his father. And Jehoshaphat his son reigned in his place. Nadab reigns in Israel. Nadab the son of Jeroboam began to reign over Israel in the 2nd year of Asa king of Judah, and he reigned over Israel 2 years. He did what was evil in the sight of the Lord, and walked in the way of his father, and his sin which he made Israel to sin, and his sin which he made Israel to sin. Baasha son of Ahijah of the house of Issachar conspired against him, and Baasha struck him down at Gibbethon, which belonged to the Philistines, for Nadab and all Israel were laying siege to Gibbethon. So Baasha killed him in the 3rd year of Asa king of Judah, and reigned in his place. And as soon as he was king, he killed all the house of Jeroboam. He left the house of Jeroboam not one that breathed, until he had destroyed it, according to the word of the Lord that he spoke by his servant Ahijah the Shilonite. It was for the sins of Jeroboam that he sinned, and that he made Israel to sin, because of the anger to which he provoked the Lord, the God of Israel. Now the rest of the acts of Nadab and all that he did, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Israel? And there was war between Asa and Baasha king of Israel all their days. Baasha reigns in Israel. In the 3rd year of Asa being king of Asa king of Judah, Baasha the son of Ahijah began to reign over all Israel at Tirzah, and he reigned 24 years. He did what was evil in the sight of the Lord, and walked in the way of Jeroboam in his sin, which he made Israel to sin. And the word of the Lord came to Jehu, the son of Hanani, against Baasha, saying, "Oh, this is chapter 16 now, by the way. Just give me one moment here." Okay. Saying, "Since I exalted you out of the dust and made you leader of my people Israel, you have walked in the way of Jeroboam and have made my people Israel to sin, provoking me to anger with their sins. Behold, I will utterly sweep away Baasha and his house, and I will make your house like the house of Jeroboam the son of Nebat. Anyone belonging to Baasha who dies in the city, the dog shall eat, and anyone of his who dies in the field, the birds of the heavens shall eat." Now the rest of the acts of Baasha and what he did, and his might, are they not written in the book of Chronicles of the kings of Israel? And Baasha slept with his fathers and was buried at Tirzah. And Elah his son, um, reigned in his place. Moreover, the word of the Lord came by the prophet Jehu, the son of Hanani, against Baasha and his house. I'm so sorry. I gotta send this text real quick. Okay, I'm good. Okay. Um, both because of all the evil that he did in the sight of the Lord, provoking him to anger with the work of his hands, and being like the house of Jeroboam, and also because he destroyed it. Elah reigns in Israel. In the 26th year of Asa the king of Judah, Elah the son of Baasha began to reign over Israel in Tirzah, and he reigned 2 years. But his servant Zimri, commander of half his chariots, conspired against him, when he was at Tirzah, drinking himself drunk in the house of Arza, who was over the household in Tirzah. Zimri came in and struck him down and killed him in the 27th year of Asa king of Judah, and reigned in his place. When he began to reign, um, began to reign, as soon as he had seated himself on his throne, he struck down all the house of Baasha. He did not leave a single male of his relatives or his friends. Dang, so he killed his whole family, and he also decided to kill his friends as well. And thus Zimri destroyed all the house of Baasha, according to the word of the Lord, which he spoke against Baasha by Jehu the prophet. For all the sins of Baasha and the sins of Elah, all the sins of Elah his son, which they sinned, in which they made Israel to sin, provoking the Lord God of Israel to anger with their idols. Now the rest of the acts of Elah and all that he did, are they not written in the book of Chronicles of the king of Israel? Someone's got to fill me into what this book. I've never heard of this book before, and it seems to have a lot of contextual stuff about the history of the times of the Bible, which is very interesting. So I definitely want to read it at some point. Zimri reigns in Israel. In the 27th year of Asa king of Judah, Zimri reigned 7 days in Tirzah. Now the troops were encamped against Gibbethon, which belonged to the Philistines, and the troops who were encamped heard it said, Zimri had conspired. I'm so sorry, guys. Therefore all Israel made Omri, the commander of the army, king over Israel that day in the camp. So Omri went up from Gibbethon, and all Israel with him, and they besieged Tirzah. And when Zimri saw that the city was taken, he went into the Kidal, the king's house, and burned the king's house over him with fire and died, because of his sins that he committed, doing evil in the sight of the Lord, walking in the way of Jeroboam, and for his sin which he committed, making Israel to sin. Now the rest of the acts of Zimri, and the conspiracy that he made, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Israel? Omri reigns in Israel. Then the people of Israel were divided into two parts. Half the people followed Tibni the son of Gerath to make him king, and half followed Omri. But the people who followed Omri overcame the people who followed Tibni the son of Ginath. So Tibni died, and Omri became king. In the 31st year of Asa king of Judah, Omri began to reign over Israel. He reigned 12 years. 6 years he reigned in Tirzah. He bought the hill of Samaria from Shemer for 2 talents of silver, and he forfeited the hill and called the name of the city that he built Samaria, after the name of Shimon, the owner of the hill. Omri did what was evil inside of the Lord, and he did more evil than all who were before him. Jeez. For he walked in all the way of Jeroboam the son of Nebat, and in the sins that he made Israel to sin, provoking the Lord, the God of Israel, to anger by their idols. Now the rest of the acts of Omri that he did, and the might that he showed, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Israel? And Omri slept with his fathers and was buried in Samaria, and Ahab his son ruled in his place. So we are about to get into some really crazy stuff, which is all the Ahab Jezebel stuff that happens. This is some really interesting stuff. Okay, Ahab reigns in Israel. In the 38th year of Asa the king of Judah, Ahab the son of Omri began to reign over Israel, and Ahab the son of Omri reigned over Israel and Samaria 22 years. And Ahab the son of Omri did evil in the sight of the Lord, more than all who were before him, so worse than his dad. And as if it had been a light thing for him to walk in the sins of Jeroboam the son of Nebat, he took for his wife Jezebel, the daughter of Ethbaal, the king of the Sidonians, and went and served Baal and worshipped him. He erected an altar for Baal in the house of Baal, which he built in Samaria. And Ahab made an Asherah. Ahab did more to provoke the Lord, the God of Israel, to anger than all the kings of Israel before him. Mind you, they just said this about his father. So everything his father did that was worse than everybody before his father, combined with the things before his father, Ahab is worse, right? In his days, Hel of Bethel built Jericho. He laid its foundation at the cost of Abram his firstborn, and set up its gates at the cost of his youngest son Shagum, according to the word of the Lord, which he spoke by Joshua the son of Nun. What? So he sacrificed his kids for the building? Like, I'm confused. Um, I'm not sure if that means, I mean, with Ball and whatever he's messing around with, I'm not completely surprised, could be some like crazy stuff like that. Um, but yeah, I appreciate y'all for watching. Thank y'all so much. Love y'all. Sorry I was a little bit distracted at certain points. But yeah, I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all. And love y'all. God bless you. And I'm gonna catch y'all tomorrow. Peace.